Tim's playing the beat, right? This is exactly how it happened. I'll never forget this moment. So he's and I was like, oh, I already know how I'm coming in on this. And the beat's still playing. Boom. He's like, what you gonna say? I just go like this. I'm bringing sexy back. And he goes, yeah.
That's how it went?
Apple Music Essentials. Justin Timberlake. Music's most influential artists and the stories behind their songs.
We're in Essentials world right now with Justin Timberlake because it's stacked. For me, it starts with this. Watch me f this up.
Uh-oh. Oh, very nice.
Starts with that.
I'll teach you the bridge after this interview.
Please do.
Okay.
Because I can't figure that shit out.
No, it's not that hard. I'll teach it to you.
Thanks. Everyone was waiting for the first taste of you on your own. Because when you left, like when NSYNC broke up, that was big news. I mean, you came off the... We did.
You're really hyping this up, Zane.
That's because it was hype. Forget it was hype, man. You were in it.
Not for us, though.
Not for you, because you were too busy hanging out either in Miami or wherever Pharrell was, probably both in Miami
We were in VA. We were in Virginia.
You were in Virginia, right? So you were tucked away, and we kept hearing the wind whisper that you were like working with Neptunes, and then someone would say to me...
Well, but also remember that NSYNC worked with the Neptunes.
That's true.
Pharrell and I wrote Girlfriend.
That's true.
And NSYNC worked with the Neptunes. So that was the natural progression for me. And, you know, at that time, I think everybody had aspirations of doing other things. Mm-hmm. And we had talked about it. And for me, it was always, I mean, when I was 10 years old, my dream was to have my own record.
As far as the rest of the world was concerned, this was a lane for you to come out and to do your own thing. And people were hype about it, and no one knew what it was going to sound like. No one had any clue until you went on stage at the MTV Awards, right? That was when you debuted it, I think, from memory, right? That was the first taste we got of it, was it not? And all of a sudden you stepped out of a ghetto blaster and it was over. Like it was just over.
It was a bit of a stunt.
It was a bit
of a stunt to have clips, but that was P, man. His peripheral vision with that whole thing. You know, I learned a lot. I learned so much from that move alone. Actually, that was the first time I remember being like, oh, wait.
We can do this.
You can put sequence drums and live drums together. What are we doing right now? And that's like I Love You.
Yeah, I just remember, man.
We
just heard it, but I just remember when
it's just Justin.
How young do I say?
It's just Justin.
It's just Justin, baby.
I was really young.
Don't worry about it.
I was really feeling myself
Come
that
here
day.
And let me cuddle you. It's all good. I'm dangerous, but not that dangerous.
Oh my God. Watch yourself, man.
Yo, those drums were crazy though, man. Just the tension on them was so nuts.
Well, also that album, all the Neptune stuff was recorded in their old, I think it was called Master Sound, but it was a one-room studio where it still had a tin roof on it. So every time it rained, we had to stop recording and wait for the rain to stop.
That's adorable.
I mean, that's real.
I mean, when you're in the studio and you're trying to get this lane for yourself and be as authentic and find your authentic voice on your own terms. You've already done the tasteful thing by surrounding yourself with people you know and people you don't, but people you trust and people you respect. But you don't know like if it's going to land until you start hearing monitor mixes of like this. And you must have just been like, oh my God, this is going to happen.
I think this was the second song we did.
I'd have cried. I'd have been so happy. I'd have been like,
These
wow.
live drums are crazy too.
I know.
But all recorded in a tiny room where, that's why the snares sound so good.
Oh, it's so light too. Did you feel protected in this process by Timbaland, by the Neptunes?
We should also talk about the importance of Timbaland because
Yeah.
that was like a prophecy for me. You have to understand, like, when I was 14 and we were just actually forming the group,
Yeah.
Super Duper Fly was the thing for me. And I said to my mother, I will work with that man one day.
Love that story.
I will work with him one day if it's the last thing I do. He was like, well, play me some of the Pharrell stuff. And I played him Senorita. And he was like, okay. But he was like, what do you want me to do? I said, honestly, I'm a singer, but I want you to give me the same intensity that you would give Missy. Tim went in and like, and he just started beatboxing. And I was like, the legend is true. You know what I mean? Like watching him do it, I'm like, I'm seeing it in real time. I'm like, it's really him.
Oh, camera tricks here.
Yeah, man.
Oh, wow. This was the centerpiece of the record, I have to say, because it was a movie.
Yeah.
It was a movie, and it set you up to make many more, bro.
I mean, the layers of his beatbox on this record.
Beatboxing on that stuff, the way it pans and flips around.
He's so good.
Crazy. This is such a huge record, and I feel like, you know, people were expecting you to dance, and they were expecting you to move, and expecting you to be on your best form, because it was your debut solo record. They knew you were going to come out swinging. No one knew you were going to write a timeless classic like that. And it's not that the others aren't, but that's a copyright. You could play that on piano. That is a copyright song.
Thank you.
Like,
it's a ballad that exists as a tempo record, which is very rare.
First album is it was a huge success, and then we know we're not getting an NSYNC record anytime soon, so here comes JT2. No one saw this coming.
This hit different.
Oh my God. I mean, I think I stared at the wall and just like a confused dog when I first heard this, like for 3 minutes. Just like, I don't know what the this is. Is this great?
It's
very eccentric.
If I give you the references, they won't make sense. I was listening to Bowie. And I was listening to Rebel Rebel.
Yes, it is. You can hear it.
I was listening to Rebel Rebel. And
Station to Station, all kinds of weird
Tim
shit.
was on a Talking Heads trip as well.
Yeah.
That's why he's basically doing his David Byrne.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Wait.
Yeah.
You may find yourself. Listen. That's him doing his version of David Byrne. When I was writing that song, I wanted it to be, I was listening to Rebel Rebel, which essentially is about a crossdresser, right? And so I was picturing guys, girls, all iterations of that in a club singing this to each other. And I said, this has to be so simple and a vibe and just like an attitude. And I was like, what's the most audacious thing you could possibly say? You know what I mean? And that was the first line of the song.
I'm bringing sexy back.
And the funny thing is, Tim's playing the beat, right? This is exactly how it happened. I'll never forget this moment. So he's like, all right, man, I think we got to bring dance music back. And I was like, I'm with it. Let's go. So he's and I was like, oh, I already know how I'm coming in on this. And the beat's still playing. Boom. He's like, what you gonna say? I just go like this. I'm bringing sexy back. And he goes, yeah.
That's how it went?
That's exactly what happened. He just said, yeah, but Timbaland doesn't do anything off beat. You should know that. Yeah. He just said, yeah, like that's it. And I was like, you should just do that. So then we just started trading lines back and forth. And it was just, honestly, it was like, it really was like
sweetest spot ever.
A pop dance cipher, you know, where everything was off the top of the head and we were just going. And then when we finished it, we were like, we knew it was different. It set up the other two singles.
There was a song on that album, Justin, that I feel now I listen back to it.
I know you're serious because you said my full name. Go ahead.
I did. It's said to me, I can trace the through line from this song through to some of the more thoughtful songwriter moments that, and you know, most obviously on Man of the Woods.
Okay.
And this to me was a real moment.
This is the first song we did for Future Sex Love Sounds.
Yeah. Which is funny to me because this to me is, now I hear Chris Stapleton in the future, in your future. I hear you with an acoustic guitar. I hear the guy from Tennessee. I hear all these things starting to come together on this song.
Right.
This hook is so crazy.
Thanks, man.
It's like as if it's not hooky enough as it is. Let me throw this one in there.
What was interesting about it was I feel like I figured something out because what I did with the lyrics and the melody was actually make them literally versions of each other. So the melody actually goes around itself.
But after those first two solo albums, it's like, all right, cool. Like the future for you is good. You were in control. No one can question you now because, you know, that album did what it did. But then further down the line, we start to see you and Timbaland start to move into a different studio to work on a different project. And it's another moment that just changed everything. And you and Jay-Z and the whole 2020 thing. It just was just so timeless, modern rap, pack, pop, hip hop. Just dope.
He had literally just come back from truffle hunting. I swear to you. That's a real thing.
Truffle season. Time for tuxedos for no reason.
I swear to you. But it's like, if there's anybody that's gonna go truffle hunting, it's gonna be Sean Carter.
Get out of here.
I swear. He's like, yeah, man, we were truffle hunting. So he was like, this is truffle season. I was like, you, my friend, are really out here living your life.
Dude,
and I love it.
I just sometimes when I'm really bored, I just wonder about the investments that he's got I don't know about.
Bro, he had just come back from truffle hunting. A truffle hunt in Italy.
With his own pig. Probably has his own pigs.
I wonder what his name was.
Too many jokes.
If I was Jay and I had a pig, I'd name it Yo.
No, you know what I'd name it? Ha!
Yeah. I would no. If I was Jay and I had a pig, I would name it Shaboy.
There are songs that when you press play on them and you hear them for the very first time, you know within a matter of seconds, just from the key, the chord, the feel, the flow, everything about it, that it's going to be a dominant presence. And this one is dude.
This song.
What a journey for you to be on this for this song.
This song trips me out. It is not something I would have ever written for myself. Again, this is a song that I don't feel is mine. Honestly, like,
why?
Because we wrote it for this movie. It just turned out that they're like, no, you have to sing it. And I was like, okay.
Every time that this song showed up and you were next to it or performing it, I felt like it was a holiday for you. Because it wasn't like a Justin Timberlake album or anything of that nature. Like, oh, here's Justin performing the song at an award ceremony, like at the Oscars, literally singing it. Dude, what was your prevailing memory looking back on that now? What was one of the funniest things that you remember during that performance of the Oscars?
The Oscars?
When you saw someone in the crowd or whatever, like, because that was about as candid as you can get with performing that song in front of the world's biggest actors and actresses.
I feel like I got some heat for like shouting out Denzel and like not Meryl, but like, but he gave me that look that only he can give. And I think that's why I was like,
got excited.
He was like, oh yeah.
Dude, it was a hell of a performance.
Apparently I don't know if this is true, but they said, we've never opened the show with a song that was been nominated.
No, it was so weird. And what was even weirder about it was it's like, normally it's this kind of really traditional thing, like, ladies and gentlemen, your host, whatever. Here's you just dancing through the aisles, like, sidling up to, I don't know, George Clooney and Meryl Streep, just like, what's up? Let's do the bump, And it was the craziest thing.
Dapping Javier Bardem. That was a shining moment for me.
But the song, it was the song. Everybody in the room and around the world loves the song. And I don't care who it is. You mention the song to anybody and they're like, dude, you can't hate that song.
I mean, I guess you can, but
you can't.
But then you're that guy. I don't know. It seems so weird to talk about all this music. It's crazy.
But we're resetting the palette for what's coming next, you see.
Yeah, I'm going 0 Dark 30. Just letting y'all know now. It ain't gonna be nothing nice.
Are you in the zone?
If I may be audacious and so bold, yes. I'm in. I don't know how deep I've got it, but I've found something that I'm excited about. And it doesn't sound like anything I just did.
Enjoy everything you got going on in the studio right now. Can't wait for it.
Thank you, man.